2023 is only a week away, and with it comes new leadership in Congress. Republicans are scheduled to take over the House on January 3rd, shifting the balance of power in D.C. So what will the 2023 political landscape look like in the new year? Let's ask someone who will be in the thick of it all, New Jersey Congressman and member of the Homeland Security Committee, Jeff Van Drew. Well, Congressman, welcome. I see you're right in front of the fireplace. That's where you should be on a day like this.
You're right. Boy, it is cold everywhere.
Oh, it's freezing. And we've got NFL games coming up in a little while where it's going to be 20 below. It's freezing. So let's begin with the chilly events of last night. The House approved the $1.7 trillion omnibus funding bill, sending the bill now to the president's desk, and of course he'll sign it. You know, you got some GOP members who are saying, you know, we're going to get back at the senators on our team, the Republicans who supported this bill and allowed it to pass. Chip Roy was really fired up Thursday night. I don't know if you heard him, but he was blasting Republican senators who sided with Democrats, and they helped get the bill passed. So listen to what he said.
Let me be clear to those 18 United States senators. That alone should have been enough to have you vote no on this bill. And yet you voted for it. It should have been enough that we're giving another $600 million to the FBI and building a new headquarters. It should have been enough that there's more money for ATF and all sorts of provisions to go after law-abiding gun owners.
I think you got a lot of normal Republicans around the country who are probably echoing what he's saying. But, you know, from your perspective, did the Republicans in the House do what they just had to do? I mean, in the Senate, what they had to do to just get this thing over with? Or should they really have waited for the cavalry to come, if you will?
I would have waited. And, you know, I have to say, I was listening to somebody who was actually asking me some questions, and they said that Mitch McConnell was saying that he's really disassociating himself from Donald Trump. Mitch McConnell would have disassociated himself from Mitch McConnell, to be honest with you. I mean, there was no reason we couldn't have done a CR for a while longer and really tried to dig into this and save some money. I mean, we've got money in there for things like gender issues in Pakistan, literally gender equality in Pakistan. What the hell are we doing? I mean, hundreds of millions of dollars. That's the really bad part of it. We've got issues in there where we're spending money all over the world, but not for our folks in the United States of America. They named literally those that were on the committee actually named things after themselves. So Nancy Pelosi, I think, has a lake named after her. Other folks have there's going to be a Michelle Obama Way, which was going to be a long pathway, millions alone just for that. I mean, this is something we don't need now. We've spent too much. Inflation's too high. The inflation was created by the government, and it gets even worse when you have a budget like this. So this was really unfortunate, and we've got to stop. Now, we've also got to work together, and we don't need circular firing squads. So there has to be a realization within the Republican Party that we have to be tough, we have to be strong, we have to stand straight, and we've got to have a spine, and we've got to bring this country back home.
So when the House turns to the Republicans in January, are you licking your chops at some of the investigations that should have been happening but have not? Like, for instance, Secretary Mayorkas's disastrous handling of the border, Biden Inc., and everything going on with that, especially Hunter Biden. Is that something that you're looking at doing right away, or is it let's tackle the economy first and then get to that, or is it a dual track?
It's a dual track. And if we can't do two things at the same time, then shame on us. Now, what does that mean? That means that we should not only be doing hearings, that we absolutely have to be doing legislation. We absolutely have to be coming up with ideas. We absolutely have to be fighting to make sure that we get on a better track. So that is consistent with the idea of doing legislation that deals with crime, that deals with the border, that deals with the military, that deals with energy. So many different issues there that we have to step up, step out, and squeeze this president like a soft lemon because he's not doing a good job. Frankly, I'm glad to see the 117th over with. It was a terrible 2 years. It was awful president, awful majority, just awful leadership on the Democratic side. And God help us, thank goodness, it's just finally done. And we've got to get it back on track. At the same time, we do need hearings. Mayorkas, I believe, and I don't say this lightly because, you know, I'm not just the kind of person, oh, you should impeach everybody. I really think he should be impeached. He's a bald-faced liar. He just doesn't tell the truth ever and doesn't seem to care about the country ever. But it's not only that. What is going on with Hunter Biden? What happened with his dad and what happened with him while his dad was vice president and now he's president, and there's some stuff obviously gone on with China, and in other ways, lots of money transferring, a laptop that was basically hidden, and we still don't know all the information on it. This stuff all has to be revealed, all has to come forward. Twitter, not currently with Twitter, but in the past, how is it that Twitter was allowed to stop the freedom of information that we should have in the United States of America and got so politically involved on just one side of politics?
No crooked establishment.
None of that twisting the truth. No talking down to me.
Don't tell me how to think.
Don't tell me how to think.
Don't tell me how to think.
I trust Newsmax.
Newsmax.
They don't tell me how to think.
They let
Me decide.
Newsmax.
Real news
For real people.